idea whether I caught that on camera, but I'm pretty sure while I was spomming then, a swan, poor thing, has just hit the power line, landed straight in the water, and I think it's dead, unfortunately. I'm going to have to call one of the bailiffs. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Welcome back to my channel again. Thanks for watching. Join me down on my second trip to Phil's Lake in 2024. I was only here last week. If you check out the video that I'll put a link up to now. I was only here last week, managed to get myself a few fish, including another 40 pounder from the lake. So I thought I'd come down and have another go. So I got here this morning. Just after 6 o'clock, you know, just getting light, so I'd be able to see any fish showing on the lake. Less people here this week in comparison to last week. Last week I came, there was 8 people on. Got here this morning, there was only 3, so I had a better choice of pegs. Knowing what the weather was going to be like today and tomorrow, I did fancy this end of the lake that I've ended up on right now. And based on the knowledge from last week as well, where the fish were showing, majority of the fish were showing last week, this is where I wanted to be. Either on the point, cut tree, or in the in-between. Those are the pegs that I wanted, so I could get to a specific area of the lake, because I knew that that's where the majority of them had been showing last week. And lo and behold, when I got here this morning, that's exactly where they were showing again. Across the riverbank margin, out into the middle a little bit as well. So I had a little bit of a walk around and decided to jump into the point. The point's is where it all started for me on this lake. 2 years ago now was my first ever trip down here, when I managed to land Stuart at 41 pounds, the first 40 pounder out of the lake. Caught my first time of catching smudge, the common carp, at 35 pound, which I re-caught last week at 40 pounds, and had a few others as well off this peg. The second I got into the peg, the fish started showing all over the place, to be quite honest, and to my right, close in, against the margin to the left, against the margin to the right, so they've been really spread out. And I can only presume that that's based on the information that I was given last week, the fact that the weed hasn't grown back in the lake since July. I've had a lead around and I can't find any weed, if I'm completely honest. It is as clear as anything everywhere where I've looked. So that does make sense. There's nothing on the lake bed really holding the fish into one area, so they're quite spread out. It's been hard to get a bait to a fish as well, if that makes sense. Every time I've spotted fish, so I've got a bit of bait out, I've done my usual. So a little bit of pellets, boilie and sweet corn on an area that I've seen fish at a good distance out towards the centre of the lake at 23 wraps. I've got 2 rods on that spot, and I've had one rod roaming with PVA bags. There's been a lot of fish caught on PVA bags on the lake recently, and I had one last week. My 32 pounder last week was on PVA bags as well. So I had that one rod roaming all day, casting to showing fish, giving it a couple of hours in each little spot when I've seen a fish. But every time I've actually cast towards a fish or a couple of fish that have been showing, they've stopped showing in that area. It's mad. I don't know whether they're really line shy at the moment with no weed in there. You know, casting at the fish, it's spooking them off very, very easily, I think, at the minute. But that's absolutely fine. I'll keep trying. I'm still confident for tonight. There's rain's just been, I mean, you can probably tell in my voice I'm a little bit cold, a bit shivery. Rain's been on now for about an hour and a half. It's been quite heavy. We've got this until midnight, and it's around about 7 o'clock now, so we've still got a good few hours of this. They haven't really been showing since the rain started. The chop's gone off the water though, so it looks a little bit calmer. So I'm keeping my eye on the water just to see if there are any signs of fish or any movement at all, just in case I need to move pegs tomorrow. But other than that, I've got high hopes for the 2 rods that are on the spot. I'm going to recast my roaming rod on a PVA bag just before it goes dark. I'm going to go closer into the margin, as that's where the majority of the fish have been showing, just like I say, closer into this margin to the right hand side of me, or behind me to the left as well. Interesting one, but yeah, fingers crossed I can actually manage to put a fish on the bank today or tomorrow. I think it's going to be trickier than last week, but you know, anything on the bank will be a positive. So wish me luck. It's taken until 11 o'clock, the night time, to get the first bite. Looked completely devoid of bites, devoid of life just before going to bed. Could hear the odd fish crashing, but nothing anywhere near where my bait was. I put all 3 on the spot in the end. This one's taken, no surprise, it's taken the wafter tipped with a piece of yellow pop-up, trimmed down pop-up. 27 pound 6 this one, 27 pound 6. Decent way to start. I've got just about see the marker in the distance for me to try and get my rod back out on the spot. Got to be deadly accurate though, because the other 2 rods are pretty tight. There you go. It's funny that a lot of the bites seem to be coming in the night. This one's come early in the night, whereas last week they were really early in the morning, so still pitch black. Yeah. There we go. Fish number 2 of the trip. This one's come probably around about an hour after putting 10 fresh bombs out this morning. Nothing after that one in the night. Heard a few fish crashing out in the distance. This is a lovely, just over 18 pound mirror. Very welcome on the map this morning, I'm not going to lie. The weather's looking very good again. Swinging back round to a bit of a westerly, southwesterly, so it's going to be pushing more towards me throughout the day. Don't think there's quite as much rain today either, whereas yesterday it was non-stop. There was a bit in the night again. Yeah, it definitely feels good for a bite or 2, as long as, you know, as I keep on top of it. What I'll do is I'll give this a little bit of time once I get the fish back in the water, the rod back out. I'll give it a little bit of time before I put any more bait out. Yeah, just over £18 this one. Stunner. Hopefully I can get a couple more before I have to leave tomorrow morning. Ben? Yeah? Got another one, mate? Right, it's 5:15 now. My second day. Got one last night, tonight to go. I'll be off in the morning. So, a bit better today. After that one last night at 11 o'clock. Got the rod back out. Got it out pretty well, to be fair. I had a pick up this morning, first light as well. Hit into it and there was nothing there. Could have been a trading line, to be fair. Managed to get 10 more bombs out. I actually reeded all rods. I don't normally do that in the morning, but yeah, I reeded all the rods, and within an hour of baiting up, I had that upper double. And then half an hour later, recast that rod, and half an hour later, that same rod went again. I expected a couple more after that, so I put a few more. I think I put three more bombs over the top just to top it up, and I haven't had anything since. The wind has been absolutely horrific. It's been 40 mile an hour blowing straight into my face, making it incredibly difficult to get anything really accurate. I have managed to now, but it's been really tough. Probably here it's still windy now. It's dropped about 10 mile an hour. It was up to about 40 miles an hour throughout the day. But anyway, all three fish were caught on the same tactic. I did mention it in one of the updates earlier. All IQD rigs, same as usual. The only difference is I've shortened the length. I've gone from about 7 inches down to about 6 inches of hook length. And for the bait, it's a match the hatch Pacific tuna wafter, so I've got Pacific tuna bottom baits in the mix that I've been spomming out. And on the, just to top it off a little bit, I've cut down a mainline balanced wafter essential cell. I've cut one in half, and then chopped it down to make it look a little bit like a piece of corn, basically, and topped the wafter off with that. All three fish have come from the same tactic. What I've been able to do this year, which is this spring, which is different to last spring, because there's no weed in the lake, I've actually been able to put the clip into my heli-safe leaders so that I don't drop the leads anymore. So I'm using a distance lead made by Ant from Seven Valley Leads. They're cracking leads, cracking price as well. He's a really good bloke. I've got the bead really low down as well, because there's no weed, no low laying weed out there at all. So, and it's not really silty either, so I haven't actually got to put the bead far up. They're just a simple simple helicopter setup. Use my IQD rig. All three the same. This evening though, I mean those two fish that I caught this evening were fairly early on. I've had absolutely nothing throughout the day at all, and there's been nothing showing until the last hour now. The last hour and a half, they've been showing to my left again. They're really on the wind. They've followed the wind. It's gone to a southwesterly, so they're really tucked into the left underneath the cable, so it's quite tricky to get to them. I've brought one of my rods in and I've put a solid bag where I saw them showing on the first morning when the wind was blowing in the same direction. So I've put a solid bag out there in the hope that actually they'll come back throughout the night or in the morning. Well, hopefully this evening, to be honest. But yeah, I'll keep that bag out there now until the morning, and hope that one of the fish will, because it seems to be a line that they patrol when the wind's pushing in this direction. So yeah, hopefully I can pick up another one down there. And I've still got the two baits really well positioned on top of the bait. I know that there's bait out there still. Like I said, I put some fresh bait out after I had those two fish earlier, and I've had nothing on them since. Got fresh bait, confident with the rigs that are out there, and a little bit different with the solid bag down the side, so I'm hopeful for another one tonight. fish to have just before we lose all the light. I think it's a recapture. I'm pretty sure it's a fish called Spike. And this one weighs 35 pounds 12. I'm pretty sure I had this fish. Could be wrong, but I thought I had this fish last year. It's a really, really, really good shaped fish, some cracking shoulders on it. I'll have to have a look through a photo album to last year, see if it is. But yeah, you can see just the light's completely going now. So, good way to end just before the light goes. And I've got enough light to actually get the rod back out accurately as well. Oh, there we go. Superb. Same tactic again, no surprise. I'd actually just put about an hour ago, another 12 spawns of bait out. So it does seem that they like the fresh bait. Let's get some photos and get it back in.
And the remodeled men in claret and blue have done a very good job for him so far. They've shown their ability.
Fish number 5. As you can tell, it's a bit of a wet one. Hang on, 20 pound this one, midnight. Middle rod's just gone off. I'm going to be quick with this one so I can actually get back inside, as it's absolutely hammering down with rain. What started very slow on the first day, I've ended up with 5 fish now. They're saying that a lot of people have been catching on solid bags recently, which is why I chose to go on solid bags on the first day. But all of these have come off that bed of bait, and I've actually put quite a bit of bait out, to be honest. Twice I've ended up topping up with 10 spawns and a couple of other little top-ups as well. So yeah, there we go. Fish number 5. I'm going to do this really quickly so I can get back inside that bivvy. Good morning. Right, that's me done. Just packing away now. I've still got the rods out. Plan on leaving in the next hour and a half, making my way around the lake. It's a bit of a big walk with the barrow full. Yeah, really productive session, really happy with that. Hoping to get back in the summer, but if not, it's going to be next spring again, so another year before I actually fish it. The 2 sessions I've done, I'm pretty happy with, in all fairness though. You know, 8 fish over the last couple of weeks, up to just under 36 pound. So yeah, good one. So yeah, I'm going to finish packing away, leave the rods out until that next time. Thank you very much.